Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the boardroom. Not the glamour of Hollywood, but the gritty, cold reality of a transfer window in the dead of winter. Papers are being shuffled. Phones are buzzing incessantly. There is a tension in the air that you can almost taste. It is the sound of ambition colliding with reality. Something is happening behind the scenes at the racecourse that defies logic. Something that ignores the traditional hierarchy of English football. We are not talking about a simple loan deal here. We are not talking about picking up a veteran on a free transfer to plug a gap. We are witnessing a moment where the tectonic plates of the championship are shifting beneath our feet. There is a cheque being written right now, metaphorically speaking, that is so heavy, so substantial, that it is sending shockwaves all the way up to the elite boardrooms in London. Imagine the faces of established Premier League executives when they realise that a club from North Wales, a club that was in the National League not so long ago, is suddenly sitting at the high table, eating their lunch. It is mysterious, it is audacious, and frankly, it is absolutely staggering. We are looking at a move that changes the perception of what Wrexham AFC is capable of. It is no longer just a story, it is a powerhouse emerging from the mist. The world is watching, and what they are seeing is something they never expected.
My friends, welcome back. We need to have a serious, deep conversation about what has just landed on my desk. I have been analysing transfer windows for years, looking at the ebb and flow of money in the Championship, and I have to say, this is one of those moments that stops you in your tracks. We are looking at a report that changes everything we thought we knew about this January window. According to an exclusive report from Football Insider, and specifically from their transfer correspondent Pete O'Rourke, Wrexham have officially submitted a bid. But not just any bid. We are talking about a £19 million offer. £19 million. Let's be precise here. The target is Sidiki Cherif, the striker from Angers in France. The source, Football Insider, has confirmed that the Red Dragons have put this money on the table to sign the 19-year-old forward. This isn't a rumour whispered in a pub. This is a concrete move reported by credible sources. The ambition here is visceral. It is raw. Wrexham are not just participating in the market, they are trying to dominate it. We are talking about a bid that is designed to blow the competition out of the water. When you look at the data, when you look at the trajectory of this club under the ownership, we knew they were ambitious. We knew the Hollywood influence brought financial muscle. But this specific move, this £19 million offer, takes us into a completely different stratosphere. It is a statement of intent that screams, we are not here to make up the numbers in the Championship, we are here to conquer it. It is a calculated risk, yes, but it is one born of a desire to accelerate history.
Now, we have to strip away the money for a moment and look at the human being, the athlete at the centre of this storm. Who is Sidiki Cherif? Why is he worth a king's ransom? We are talking about a 19-year-old playing in Ligue 1, one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. He has been a breakthrough player for Angers this season. According to the data we have, he has made 19 appearances in all competitions for the French side. He has scored 4 goals. Now, the cynics among you might look at the stats and say, 4 goals? Is that it? But you have to look deeper. You have to look at the context. Angers are sitting 11th in the Ligue 1 table. This is a tough, physical, tactical league. For a teenager to break into the first team and hold his own against defenders from PSG, Marseille and Lyon, that shows a level of maturity and raw talent that you cannot manufacture. He's young, he's raw, but the scouts, and Football Insider reveals that Wrexham sent scouts to watch him back in November, obviously see something special. They see a ceiling that is sky high. This isn't about buying a finished product. This is about buying potential. This is about identifying a diamond in the rough before he becomes untouchable. If he was scoring 20 goals in Ligue 1, he would cost £60 million and be going to Real Madrid. Wrexham are trying to catch him at that sweet spot, proven enough to contribute now, but young enough to explode in value. The data tells us he has been a revelation for Angers. The fact that the Red Dragons have been tracking him since November tells us this isn't a panic buy, it is a calculated, long-term strategy. They have done their homework, they have watched the tapes, they believe this lad has the DNA to lead the line at the racecourse.
Here is where the story gets incredibly spicy and honestly quite intriguing. Wrexham are not the only shark in the water. The report from Football Insider makes it crystal clear we are in a direct head-to-head battle with Crystal Palace, a Premier League club, an established London side. They have also held talks for Cherif. And it doesn't stop there. The report mentions that Newcastle, Sunderland and Fulham have all previously shown interest in the forward. Think about the optics of this. A few years ago, the idea of Wrexham competing with Crystal Palace or Newcastle for a signing would have been a joke. It would have been impossible. Today, it is reality. Wrexham are trying to beat a top-tier English club to a signature. The audaciousness of this cannot be overstated. Crystal Palace can offer Premier League football right now. They can offer London life. They can offer a pathway that is theoretically shorter to the top. But Wrexham is offering something else. They are offering a project. They are offering the chance to be the face of a revolution. And let's be honest, they are offering serious money. To go toe-to-toe with Premier League scouts and say, "We want him more," shows a level of confidence from the owners and the board that is intoxicating. It is a signal to the rest of the footballing world that the gap between the Championship and the Premier League, at least financially for Wrexham, is closing. We are witnessing a David versus Goliath battle, but this time, David has a very hefty checkbook.
We need to contextualise this £19 million figure because numbers can sometimes lose their meaning in modern football. This isn't just a big fee for Wrexham, this is a historic fee for the entire Championship. The report highlights that the current record signing by a Championship club was set in August 2025, just last year, when Ipswich Town signed Sindre Welle Egli for a reported £17.5 million. If this deal for Cherif goes through at £19 million, Wrexham will have smashed the Championship transfer record. Let that sink in. Not Leeds, not Leicester, not Aston Villa in their Championship days. Wrexham, the club from North Wales, would hold the record for the most expensive player ever purchased by a second-tier club. It is absolutely mind-blowing. This speaks to the aggressive nature of the project. Breaking a league record is not something you do lightly. It puts a target on your back. It puts immense pressure on the player, but it also sends a message of power. It says that the club is financially robust and willing to flex its muscles to get what it wants. It changes the ecosystem of the league. Agents will look at Wrexham differently. Clubs selling players will look at Wrexham differently. The price for everyone else just went up. By submitting a Championship record bid, the club is effectively betting the house on this young man. It is a high-stakes poker game, and Wrexham just pushed all their chips into the middle of the table.
Why now? Why spend this money in January? The context of the season is crucial here. Phil Parkinson's side is pushing for a playoff spot. The report details that the Red Dragons went on a fantastic 4-game winning streak during the festive period. That run propelled them up the table. As of today, they sit just 2 points behind 6th place. 2 points. That is the margin between another year in the Championship and a shot at the promised land of the Premier League. The board clearly sees an opportunity. The window of opportunity is open, but it can shut very quickly. They are looking at the squad and thinking, we are close. We are so close. One special player, one spark, could be the difference between finishing 8th and finishing in the playoffs. This £19 million bid is an investment in promotion.
The financial rewards of reaching the Premier League are astronomical, hundreds of millions of pounds. In that context, 19 million is a drop in the ocean. But it is also a show of faith in the gaffer, Phil Parkinson. You don't spend this kind of money if you don't trust the manager to utilise the asset. It shows that the hierarchy believes Parkinson is the man to steer this ship to the top flight. They are backing him. They are giving him the ammunition he needs to go to war in the final months of the season. It creates a fascinating dynamic for the rest of the campaign. The pressure will be on, but the excitement is off the charts. It is important to note that this isn't just about one striker. The ambition is systemic. Football Insider also revealed earlier in the window that Wrexham were working on a deal for Hampus Skoglund, the 21-year-old right-back from Hammarby. That deal was mooted at around £2.6 million. Although German club Mainz is leading that race, the fact that Wrexham was in for him shows they are looking to strengthen multiple areas. They are looking at young, high-potential talent across Europe, Sweden, France. Furthermore, the report mentions that Josh Windass is set to remain at the club despite links of a January exit. Keeping your best players is just as important as buying new ones. Retaining Windass while bidding for Cherif shows a refusal to weaken the squad. It is about building layer upon layer. It creates a squad depth that is essential for the grueling nature of the championship. The strategy is clear. Relentless improvement. They are not settling, they are not resting on their laurels. Whether it's a £2.6 million defender or a £19 million striker, the scouting network is active, the board is active, and the desire to improve is constant. This is a club that is operating like a well-oiled machine, trying to execute a master plan to get to the Premier League in record time.
What we are witnessing today is rare. It is the moment a club decides to transcend its current reality. Submitting a £19 million bid for Sidiki Cherif is not just a transaction, it is a declaration. It is a declaration that Wrexham AFC fears no one. Not the established championship clubs and certainly not the Premier League sides like Crystal Palace. There is a risk, of course. There is always a risk with a 19-year-old. But the reward is history. The reward is a player who could define an era at the racecourse. The owners have put their money where their mouth is. Now we wait. We wait to see if Angers accepts. We wait to see if the player chooses the passion of Wales over the lights of London. But one thing is certain. Wrexham have changed the game today. The world is stunned, and rightfully so. This is football heritage in the making.